Well, welcome to the barn, Charles.
So wonderful to be here. Thank you.
I feel like this barn might look and feel a little different than some of the barns you're used to. We are missing some pigs.
You know, truth be told, we don't keep pigs in the barn.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
They like it outside.
Oh, I was contemplating getting some baby pigs to come hang out with us today, but I fell a little short on that. So you and I will have to suffice for the interview.
You've got a nice setup here. It could use a pig or two.
Oh my God, my kids would die. I am so happy to have you here today. You literally flew up from the South to come hang at the barn today. And I cannot wait to get into all the magic of pig fat and the incredible healing benefits that it has for human skin. I was thinking back a few years now when I was starting to educate myself and immerse myself in the world of beef tallow. Mm-hmm. We have mutual friends, and I was sharing with them my learnings on the beef towel. And they were like, Lauren, you need to meet our friend Charles. He has a skincare company made from pig fat. And I remember being like, hold up, who is Charles? I need to know all about this. What is a skincare company? And I said, set up a call. I need to talk to Charles. And you so graciously. Yes.
I forgot about the call.
Yes, the call.
I forgot.
You so
Dana set the call. Yes, oh my God.
Yes. You got on the phone with me. And I remember at the end of the call, I had so many questions for you. And at the end of the call, you're like, Lauren, who are you? I need to know who you are. You have such excitement for this. And that's literally how I feel. Like when I find people that are thinking and doing outside of the box from a place of passion and wanting to implement alternative healing modalities for people, I am all in. So, and I remember thinking to myself then, I was like, one day I'm going to have a podcast and Charles is going to be on it. And here we are.
And here we are,
right?
And we met in the flesh. Was that May?
Yeah, June.
Early June.
Yep. So here we are. So welcome to the show. I want to give you a proper introduction. So you are most importantly a father.
Yep.
You are an author. You are a recent TEDx speaker. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big deal. And you are the proud founder of Farrow Skincare, which is a skincare line made from pig lard. I pulled something from your website that really struck me. Farrow started because you found yourself in similar situations of many, tired of the bullshit of not knowing what is safe to use in terms of our skincare. And I think that many of us can relate to this because I think the skincare market and industry is very, very oversaturated. It's very overwhelming. And I think for the majority of us, when you flip over a skincare product, you don't know what half the ingredients are and truly what you're putting on your skin. So I am wildly fascinated by everything we're about to get into. And my hope and goal of this is to just open up people's minds to another way of going about skincare from a true healing standpoint. So we're going to jump into some magic here.
I'm ready.
Here we go. So take me back to your farming days and share with me your connection to farming and the passion that you have towards regenerative farming and specifically our friend the pig. How does this all come together?
Well, I grew up in what I like to say is an agriculturally adjacent family. My family's in the dairy business and was a very prominent high value brand in the Southeast. But when you're a dairy company, at some point you're either bottling milk for a living or you're milking cows for a living. Very, very rarely do you do both. And so by the time I was coming of age, we were a milk bottler. So grew up, again, I say sort of arm's length adjacent to farming and agriculture. Mm-hmm. My farming bug really hit following an introduction to the paleo diet. You mentioned cookbook or author. I have a number of different cookbooks to my name, and it was the paleo diet that first steered my attention towards farming. Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's the foods you should eat. How do we grow them? How do we raise them? And so I took a trip to Polyface Farms. For your listeners that don't know Polyface,
where is this goodness?
It's in Virginia.
Okay.
And it is the Saddleton family. Joel Saddleton is sort of the head patriarch of Polyface. He was featured, Lauren, in Michael Pollan's book, The Omnivore's Dilemma.
Okay.
So that's actually how I originally met Joel, was through the writings of Michael Pollan, but got invited up to his farm. I call that place Mecca. If you've never been, it's absolutely gorgeous. And they do a very, very regenerative, all in model. And so that's what got me sort of fired up about farming. And Joel's a prolific writer, read everything I could get my hands on. And at some point you're like, well, it's enough reading, time to do.
Yeah.
And so started farming on a very micro scale in 2016. Pigs, chickens, cows, turkeys.
All of it.
All the things. And yes, quickly the pig became my favorite animal. They're highly intelligent. They're some people get bothered by this description, but they're kind of like a dog, but bacon's amazing,
Yeah, I've actually heard that. I've actually also heard that pigs are very trainable.
Oh,
because they're very smart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have heard that, it depends on where your sources, but the cognitive ability of about a 3-year-old human toddler.
That's wild.
Which is pretty wild. If you know 3-year-olds, they're pretty smart and manipulative and understand the world pretty well. Right. And so I used to always make the joke, if you ever want to see what sexually active human toddlers would act like, just raise pigs.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a hoot. Like when the pheromones and the hormones get pumping and that is just the way they act is awesome. It's hilarious. It's a real nice window into the human psyche as well. Gosh. But yeah, amazing animals, unbelievably good for the land. They have a terrible reputation that I'm happy to try and dispel today.
Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of that. What is the regenerative component of farming? I don't know if I really know what that means.
Oh, I love that question because it's a buzzword. Everyone says regenerative agriculture, regenerative farming. Yeah. I like to break it down into one extremely simple thing to grasp. If you are building soil, not dirt. People say dirt. It's soil. The ground we walk on should be this living, vibrant ecosystem.
Soil, when you say that, soil to me feels living, an ecosystem.
And it is. Yeah. And it is. And so if you are farming in a way that builds soil, does not remove it, then I would categorically call that regenerative agriculture, regenerative farming. Nature does a pretty good job in the absence of us to build soil. The Corn Belt in the United States of America, these historically 20 and 30 feet deep of topsoil, that was built over millennia of herding herbivores. Today it's the cow, then it was the bison, moved by predators, bears and lions and all that. So they herd together, and then they're followed by birds. They come in, they eat, they poop, they pee, and they leave. And that's, I don't even say eat, they mow. Right. We got all these grasses. And so replicating that model is as close to the natural model as possible. Build soil. Our bison is the cow. Our bird is typically the chicken or the turkey. The pig actually has a role there. But generally speaking, regenerative farming, build soil, is in many ways non-reliant on synthetic or artificial inputs. We just lean into nature and sunshine, fresh air, and water. And so it feels very life-giving to me, to the animals too, that are on the land and acquiring from the ground. Yes, the animals get to live their very best life. Yeah. One of Joel's books, The Pigness of the Pig, cows get to be cows, chickens get to be chickens, pigs get to be pigs. Yeah. And in doing that, and we get to be the orchestrator. We get to be the predator of the past was managing the animals through, if you don't move, you're my meal. Right. So we're now the predator, but we use it through, lightweight electric fencing and a more a safer, more life-filled environment. Correct. Yeah. And the pig, just again, I believe the pig is a gift from God that is designed to be domesticated. Interesting. Wild dogs aren't very cool. Neither are wild pigs. Yeah. But you domesticate a dog and have a relationship with them. I was going to say the personality and the fun comes out. Yeah. Very interesting. What inspired you to explore pig fat as a skincare ingredient? Oh gosh. It was a moment of curiosity and desperation. I came home from a particularly awful farming day. Awful meaning, I was out in the sun all day, forgot to put on sunscreen, and I was cooked, like barbecued. And at the time, I was going through my divorce. So I come home to an empty house. You've had a bad sunburn. It's the most miserable
I am a fair
experience.
Skin girl.
Yes. You look fair skinned enough. We've all been there. And so I'm sort of sitting in my living room, life was not good. But I had this moment. My mom's from Mobile, Alabama. We used to go down there. We'd go to the beach every year. Mm-hmm. The minute we get to the beach, the jar of aloe vera goes in the fridge. Yeah,
because that's what most people think about with sunburns is
aloe vera. Oh, for sure. Aloe vera, or, it's like probably the most common go-to. Yes. But I'm sitting there, again, desperate and also curious. And I had this jar of lard, given my cooking background. So I knew I had a jar of lard, which is fat. I'm like, well, aloe vera is probably a fat, it's petroleum, and so I just, half curious, half desperate, decided to go get the jar of lard out of my fridge. And Lauren, it worked. I mean, I'll never forget putting it on, and I caked it on. Yeah. Like it was, I looked like a greased pig. I sat in my living room after putting it on, and in about 5 minutes, it was almost like I never put it on. Wow. Like my skin ate it.
Was absorbing it.
Absorbed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's cool. Went, took a shower, went to bed, woke up the next morning, put it on again. And that was it. 2 applications.
Wow.
Sunburn was gone in a matter of a couple days. Huh. Great. I never peeled.
Interesting.
That was really the sort of light bulb watershed moment for me. And I watched my skin like a hawk for 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
Because again, my nutritional exploits, the background, paleo, all that, you just sort of learn when something is different, you pay attention. And so I watched my skin like a hawk because I did have some memories as a kid of getting burned. And 2 or 3 weeks later, it finally
would turn over.
Peeled. Yeah.
So do you think in a way that when it was absorbing, it's almost like it was absorbing, putting the fire out, and then starting the healing process from the inside out? Whereas like maybe if you do other things, it's just kind of like masking it on the top. It's not necessarily healing. It's just taking the fire feeling out. But it seems as though like when your body started to absorb this, like cellular turnover, like it started pumping out healing.
At this point, looking back and understanding what I do know now, because again, it was just sort of dumb luck, curiosity. Yeah. Most of the things we put on our skin today do not align with our biology.
Yeah.
And so the word you said, the operative word you said was absorb. Mm-hmm. I don't believe there's a better fat on the planet to absorb into our skin than pig fat. And so aloe vera, name the other, these are all, again, they're either a plant oil, a seed oil, or a petroleum derivative.
That kind of just sit on the top.
They're going to sit on the top.
Yeah, like a barrier.
That's right. And so, so for some period of time, that will keep you from peeling. But inevitably, if you're not ultimately getting under the dermis, it's peeling.
That's very, very cool. Why are pigs remarkable in terms of their biology and how similar they are to humans? This is very, very cool to me because I think that naturally people who don't know anything about pigs and what you're about to share, I think they naturally think about like apes, monkeys, gorillas. I think sometimes you see that like structurally comparisons with humans, but I don't know that people even know how similar we are to pigs. So give us all the details on this.
Well, I think the operative word you said was, why are they that way? Again, I contend that they are one of the greatest gifts we've ever been given. How are they that way? I mean, I look at the medical field as the best testament to the similarity between pigs and humans. We have been training our doctors, surgeons on pigs since the 2nd century. I mean, the founder, so Galen was not to take it all the way back, Galen was the architect of the fields of anatomy, physiology, neurology, and this was Marcus Aurelius' concierge doctor. So there's a modern term for Roman times. He was a concierge doctor, and he documents how much pigs were helpful to him in terms of understanding our biology. If your great aunt got a heart valve replaced last month, there's a good chance there's pig parts inside of her right now. So the biology is a spot on match.
Yep.
And so why is that the case? I mean, domestically, it's arguable that they were the first animal we domesticated for meat. We domesticated with dogs some like 30,000, 40,000 years ago. That wasn't I'm going to eat you. That was we're going to hunt together and protect each other relationship.
Right.
It's plausible that the pig was the first wild animal that we domesticated for food. Yeah. And
then as time went on, was used as a remarkable creature to help medically.
I mean, we harvest hormones from pigs today.
So on that note, this is really fascinating. I was with one of my best friends the other night, and I was telling her you were coming and we were doing this interview. And I was explaining to her that we were going to talk about how pigs are remarkable in terms of their DNA and their biology and how comparable it can be for humans. And she's like, without question, she has a few autoimmune conditions and her synthroid was no longer working to help regulate her thyroid. So she then switched and went to a functional practitioner, and the functional practitioner put her on a product called NP Thyroid, which is made from dried thyroid glands of pigs and contain both T4 and T3. And I was like, do people even know about this? That then shot me down another rabbit hole. I was calling another friend. I'm like, because he's kind of going through a similar situation, hitting some roadblocks with traditional medicines. And I was like, I just want to put this in your sphere to see if this is something that might resonate with you. I really don't know that I knew how deep the pigs went in terms of medically being able to help humans.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
This has been again, desperation and curiosity.
Yeah. Put
some pig fat on you. That was the impetus. But what I've learned since then, and I continue to learn, and this is a remarkable animal. As it relates to regenerative farming, they are a critical cog in the wheel of that system. A lot of if you look at Polyface or the Savory Institute or any of these sort of linchpin, huge regenerative ag people, most of the work's being done by herbivores, cows, sheep, any ruminant herbivore. But the X factor is the pig.
Yeah, it's really mind-blowing, honestly, to learn and to listen about it. Pigs in general are viewed as dirty animals. Is it important to consider what pigs eat, and how does that play into their fat and ultimately onto people's skin?
Great question. Pigs were considered a dirty animal. That mindset has made its way to the modern day, even though we intuitively know that they're not dirty. They're actually one of the cleaner animals on the planet. Why were they dirty? Well, have you ever seen pig tartare on a menu at a restaurant?
No. I would die.
Well, you don't.
I should say, that would catch me by surprise.
You don't want to eat pig tartare or chicken tartare. These are monogastric omnivores, just like us.
Explain that.
Single stomach. And they can eat all sorts of various things. They eat carriage and fat and meat, and they also eat plants. Pigs can do that. Chickens are also a monogastric omnivore.
Okay.
So that because of the way that animal metabolizes its environment, i.e. food, it carries a different viral load. All ruminants, cows, sheep, goats, any ruminant, elk, deer, they metabolize their food through fermentation. They don't have one stomach; they have a series of stomachs, and the first one is what's called the rumen, hence the term ruminant. And a rumen is like a big sauerkraut pot, and so they eat the grass or any type of vegetation. It goes in the sauerkraut pot. It ferments for a little bit, turns it into sauerkraut. Then they regurgitate it back up, chew it some more, and then swallow it down into the rest of their stomachs. And
sounds gorgeous.
It's
fascinating.
It makes ribeyes and
it's a gorgeous experience.
And steaks. Yeah. So they turn grass into protein. So I'm very happy about that process. But the point is, the viral load, the bacteria, everything associated with the pig is different. You have to cook pork. It has to reach a certain temperature in order for it to be completely safe to eat. Trichinosis gets all the press, but just the general viral load of pigs. And so if you rewind the clock 10,000 years, pigs were here. If you hunted and gathered one and maybe you ate it raw, somebody might get sick.
Right.
You do that over and over again. At some point, Lauren, you're gonna make up a story. And that story is, see that animal right there? It's really dirty. Don't eat it. It's a dirty animal. Which is funny, because the biblical don't eat that animal is very Old Testament, but then you come sort of into the New Testament, start to figure a few things out, and lo and behold, we cast the demons off into the pigs, and all of a sudden they're not as bad, or they have more utility. I'm a firm believer that this is not a dirty animal. So
does the pig's fat hold minerals and vitamins differently than other animals?
Yes and no. Thank you for bringing me back to the original question. Okay, so what does a pig eat, and how does that affect the fat and the meat? Is it important? Yes. How a pig metabolizes its diet and stores it, it's going to look and feel a lot like any other animal. Eat this food. If the food is of quality, then the fat is better.
Right.
The important thing to talk about there is not what the animal's eating so much as it is how the animal is living. Okay. And it's not that what we feed our livestock isn't important, but I'll turn it around. You look like you're in pretty good shape. I know you get some good workouts in from our buddy Data from time to time, but the reality is, the more sunshine, the more social time, the more friends you have, the more fresh air you have, then the more room, Lauren, you have, or any of us have, in what we eat.
Yep.
Right? So it's all the other lifestyle pieces, especially sunshine.
Yeah.
So sunshine, vitamin D shouldn't even be called a vitamin. It's a precursor to hormone production. I don't know what we should call vitamin D. It's
life force.
It is a life force. And we get most of it from the sun.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it's important what we feed a pig, but more important, just like with humans, it's more important that you get adequate sunshine, play, fresh air, and have some friends than whether your steak came from Whole Foods or Walmart.
Yeah.
Right. And so yes, it does matter. The other piece to where does your pork come from is the industrial system, because of the cramped conditions, poor sunshine and all that. Well, if you deny a human sunshine, they get sick. If you deny a pig the same sunshine, they're sick. So if there's an injectable or some type of hormone, antibiotic, most of the antibiotics in this country, their end use is in food production. It's not in humans. So that's a problem. That stuff can manifest and make its way into storage in the subcutaneous fat and muscle. And so you want to try to certainly avoid pork from the industrial model. You want a pastured pig that conceivably didn't need any hormones or antibiotics, because it's
any external forces.
It's getting all of the antibiotics it needs from the sun.
I think this plays into our next question well, because I heard you share how the pig is raised is of great importance, and you took it one step further and you said it is important to know your local farmer and to be able to shake his or her hand. What is the feeling behind that? Again, does that just play into like knowing where your sourcing is coming from and the role that the local farmer plays into that?
Sure. I mean, the average meal in this country travels this is an old stat, but I think it was like 1,780 miles
Oh, wow.
farm to plate.
Yeah.
If the lights happen to go out or if we get snowed in or anything like, I mean, you know, safety and security is food security.
Yeah.
And so getting to know your local farmer is important. Not every, you know, it may be difficult to find a pastured pig farmer around here. I haven't looked.
I haven't looked either. I don't know that there's any. I'm sure there's got to be someone, maybe not right in my perimeter. But
Within an hour of here?
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
so. I think so. Within
For sure.
an hour of here.
It's
Yeah.
so lush up here.
Yeah, it's very bucolic. I think for sure once we cross some of the borders into other states, I think we reach pigland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And pig land and chicken land and
Yeah.
beef land and milk and
Yep.
all, you know, cheese and all those fun things. Eatwild.com is a great resource.
Oh, very cool.
But
love that.
back to your question, like what is shopping? And I would put local really over pastured, organic, any of these other labels.
Mm-hmm.
Local's a good start because when you shake that farmer's hand, you can ask them questions
Yeah.
and you can, how do you raise these animals and how do you, why are you doing what you're doing?
And also too, intuitively, when you say that, it also feels right to me that you're engaging with an animal that's from your local ecosystem too.
Sure.
Like that makes more sense to me.
Especially pigs.
Yeah.
Especially pigs.
Yeah, like in the environment that you're in the country.
It's like I'm sure you've heard this, like eating local honey.
Right.
You're getting
Yes.
getting the pollen and you're getting
Exactly.
It's like a concentrated version of your ecosystem.
100%. I was thinking that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons local's great. The other, you know, listen, I'm grateful that we have grocery stores because a lot of people need them to be able to source food.
Yeah.
But you know, you walk into your not to pick on Whole Foods, but you walk into your Whole Foods right here in town, you know, that money's ultimately going to Austin, Texas, which actually now Amazon owns them. Ooh, hit the mic. So I don't even know where's the Amazon headquarters.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah. So the money's leaving your local economy and going elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's important. Food's important.
Mm-hmm.
Our ecology and the local ecosystem is also important. And so to be able to patronize someone that's taking the time, Lauren, I would love to live in a world, not that bankers aren't important and not that lawyers aren't important and not that all these prestige pull up in a Mercedes-Benz jobs aren't important. Mm-hmm. They all are important. But man, I'd love to live in a world where if the farmer pulled up in a Mercedes-Benz, people wouldn't lose their minds. Mm-hmm. It's like, wait a minute, you're charging too much for food. Mm-hmm. You don't have a problem with the banker driving this car or the stockbroker or it's like, I'd love to. So that's one of the missions to getting back to eating locally and shopping
more love
locally.
for the local farmer.
Yeah.
I want to talk about tallow versus lard. So I think some people who are listening might be familiar with beef tallow. Help me understand the main differences between beef tallow and lard, and how do you specifically marry the two together for your products?
Sure. So beef tallow is a placeholder term for the rendered visceral fat from a ruminant animal.
Got it.
Okay. So we have belly fat, back fat. That's subcutaneous. Then we have organ fat, visceral fat inside of our organs. So tallow is the organ fat, rendered organ fat from a ruminant, most commonly a cow. Mm-hmm. So beef tallow, great fat, super rich in vitamin A. It's got a really good fatty acid profile. It comes from a cow. We don't share as much biology with cows as we do pigs.
Yeah.
Okay. It's also, and again, this is advantageous. It's also from the visceral fat. So in the viscera, your organs, our organs are wrapped in a big casing, the organ viscera. Mm-hmm. In a similar way, the way that the placenta and the womb protect an unborn child from external factors around the mom, your viscera, your organ viscera protects that fat. Mm-hmm. So it's a very clean fat. You could get beef tallow from an industrially raised cow and it's going to be clean, which is great. Uh-huh. Lard is from the subcutaneous fat of a pig. So I always say the swine is fine, but the lard is hard.
I love that.
So
Say that again?
The swine is divine, but the lard is hard.
I love that.
So subcutaneous fat is storage fat, right? It's designed, its function metabolically in your body and my body is to take excess calories, take vitamin D, and store it. So you have to be very careful about where you source subcutaneous fat from, especially from an omnivore. So lard comes from the subcutaneous fat. Leaf lard, which is another, if you read the ingredients on our products, we use leaf lard, and tallow. We use tallow in our products.
And what's leaf lard? Leaf
lard is the tallow equivalent, but from a pig. So it's the rendered visceral fat. It was a prized fat, 200 years ago. It was a prized fat for baking and frying because of the visceral nature. It doesn't have a smell or a taste to it. We use more leaf lard in our facial product because it's up by the nose, and it's odorless.
Got it.
You would use it to make your pie crust because it's not going to impart a animal fat smell to your pastry.
Interesting.
So it lets the pastry do all the talking.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And so tallow, lard, leaf lard, we use all three. Why is lard better? I'm going to say better at its job. I believe lard is a better moisturizer. I believe tallow is a better sealer.
Interesting.
So, which is why you asked how we use them. Well, I played around and tinkered with ratios for probably a year and a half. It was 2019 when I got the sunburn. We didn't launch the company until 2022. So I was tinkering in the kitchen, sort of figuring things out.
Yeah. So it's almost like the absorption meets the barrier.
Correct. One of the again, I'm new to cosmetics and skincare, but one of the trends today is called slugging. Have you heard of slugging?
No, I have not heard of slugging.
Okay, so slugging is you take your favorite moisturizer, the really expensive stuff, and you put it on. And then you get a vat of CeraVe or petroleum jelly, and you coat that over the top to seal in.
To bury it in.
Yeah, so we just do it all in one product. So the lard soaks in and the tallow sits on top. They're both great fats. We don't have a sunscreen product yet, but when we do, it will be a more tallow-heavy product because it needs to sit on the surface.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So they're both great fat. They're both tools. And we like to use them both.
Yeah.
I do believe that lard and leaf lard are preferentially going to moisturize your skin more efficaciously than tallow, but tallow is going to seal in, lock in that moisturization better.
So they both play their role.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to talk about, stemming off that, I want to talk about ingredients a little bit. So I heard you talk about how many chemicals and ingredients are banned in the EU versus the US. And before doing this, I checked, and currently the US only has 11 chemicals or ingredients banned versus the EU, which has over 1,600 banned ingredients, which is a significant difference in numbers, to say the least. Why doesn't the FDA have our best interests if they know that so many of these ingredients can hurt us?
That's a good question. I cannot explain the FDA's
thinking
on this. We live in a world today, speaking of farming, we live in a world today where gastric bypass is totally okay, but raw milk is illegal.
Right.
Right. So, the FDA started in 1938. Was the legislation, I think, that created the FDA. And at the time, the only ingredients that required pre-market safety testing in 1938 were color additives. This is for cosmetics, carte blanche across the board. And so, fast forward to today, we've got 11 chemicals. The EU list is growing, actually.
Wow.
Which is great because
great for them.
We're figuring out how to make things in a lab more and more and more and more. So it's not surprising that their list has grown. The older list I used to look at, it was around 1,200 and 1,400. Lauren, I can't tell you. The human body, I believe, as resilient and amazing as our species is, I believe we've reached a tipping point. And I believe that it's a combination of the stuff we're putting on our skin, the things that we're consuming that we put in our mouth, these preservatives, these chemicals, all across the board. And no, I do not believe our governing body has its best interests at heart. All the rules are made by the big corporations. Right. I know you talked to Brett, had an interview with him, and, his background with food, it's the Food and Drug Administration.
Right.
And, it's the same song and dance in nutrition.
Yeah.
There's a lot of terrible information, a lot of hyper processed, hyper palatable, a lot of correlated ownership between big food and big pharma. And all of those things, whether it's lack of metabolic health or lack of skin health, all of those things drive huge profits for skincare and big pharma. So
then how can people ensure, so if the FDA doesn't have our back in terms of skincare, are there ways that people can ensure their own safety, with products that they're using for them?
The model looks a lot like how do you want to ensure that you're getting the most nutrient dense food? If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. And if you can't pronounce it, I would say don't put it on your skin.
Yeah.
Your skin is your largest organ. It's called your second stomach. So I would go so far as to say, if you can't eat it, you probably shouldn't put it on your skin. Now that's going to curtail the market of products that you can put on your skin down substantially.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. In the spectrum, look at the underlying ingredients. So you read your labels, look at the underlying ingredients. If it is a plant-based, there are no animal fat-based brands. Walk into we were talking before we hit record, you have a daughter, I have a daughter. Mine's 11, just turned 11. And so it's like, we're already like wanting to go into the Ulta or the Sephora and do the things.
Yeah. It's a real thing for these young girls.
Yeah. So read your ingredients. If it's in the spectrum of fat, skincare is a fat-based industry. So in the spectrum of fats, we have sort of four categorical spots. You've got petroleum derivatives. No, we don't need any of those. We have seed oils. No, preferably stay away from those. Then you get over here into plant-based fats, coconut oil, shea butter, olive oil. Sure, these are real, oils. We've used them for millennia. They don't necessarily disagree with our skin. So read your ingredients. If those are the fats that are in your product, then okay, fine.
Yeah.
But it's not the fat that's the problem. It's the preservatives and the emulsifiers that are the real problem.
Yeah, I was going to say like all the additive stuff because also too there's also phenomenal skincare brands that are probably more regulated that people do receive incredible benefits with. But even with those, it's understanding these additives that come into things and having an understanding of what is going onto your skin, which is the largest organ. I don't even know if people really consider that. Is it true that companies don't have to prove that a product is safe before it hits the market?
That is absolutely true.
That's wild. So like anyone can just put anything out.
Well, so, okay. I love this question. So I'm a big skincare company and I want to launch a new product. Does it need to be safe? Well, what do you mean by safe?
I mean, to me, it's like, well, for me, when I think about being safe for my skin, I think me being fair skin and sensitive. So is something going to cause a negative reaction to my skin? Over
what time frame?
I mean, for me, probably immediate. Like.
Okay, so we're going to test I'm a big skincare company.
Yeah.
So I want to launch this new product. Okay, I'm going to test it. So how long am I going to test it for?
Yeah.
A month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Let's say I test this product for 6 months. What am I testing it for? I'm testing to make sure that when I put this product on a spectrum of skincare types,
right,
that it doesn't hurt them then.
Right.
Not a year from now, not these chemicals and these various compounds that the preservatives, the emulsifiers, how can I say this, Lauren? I'm not testing this product for its efficacy. How well does it work? I'm testing this product to make sure that when you put it on,
right,
it doesn't burn.
Right.
It doesn't make you break out. right then and there.
And are they even testing for that? Like, are they testing?
Oh, sure they are.
But so skincare products have to be tested on humans to see whether or not.
No, they don't have to be. There's a whole thing about not testing on animals now. You know, oh gosh, it's the flying bunny label. It's like, this product was not tested on live animals. Again, we lean into these other animals. I wouldn't be surprised if they were testing some products on pigs. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know that for sure. But
so it's almost like maybe the testing is more from a chemical component, understanding the chemicals from a science perspective, that this should or shouldn't react with somebody.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've got I mean, if they're very good at what they do.
Yeah.
We know this particular ingredient and this ingredient have worked over here before.
Right.
And when I say worked, I mean they put it on and it didn't hurt them.
Right.
It's not, forget whether it helps, it doesn't hurt.
Right.
That's the goal. We can't have a product that someone puts on and it hurts them. Doesn't have to help, it can't hurt.
That's a very interesting point to make.
When I say, what do you mean by safe? What you mean by safe is, I want to put this product on and know that it's nourishing me.
Right.
What they mean by safe is, Lauren needs to put this product on and it not hurt her.
Right.
Because hurting her is bad for business.
Correct. But then it doesn't also mean that it's going to help
the
skin.
No. And most of the regulations in skincare in the US, according to the FDA, have to do with labeling. Two things. Labeling, so who manufactured it? What are the ingredients? How can we, if this does hurt someone, how can we find who's responsible? And claims. So are you making any claims about this product? Does it, you said the word heal earlier. I was like, I can't say anything about that. I can say, there's lawyers out there that their job is to make sure you don't overstep the line in terms of your marketing material and what you say. Nourishes, sure. Maybe feeds your skin, sure. But you can't imply any type of medicinal betterment without a double-blind placebo trial test.
Got it.
And so, yes, every skincare manufacturer is testing every big one is testing their products, but they're not testing them to make sure they work really well. They're testing them to make sure that when they launch this product that, 5% of the people that use it aren't coming in the door saying,
something
I broke out, or
right.
Those are two different
they are very
motivations in terms of,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me when you present it that way and split it that way. In terms of hurting, I want to talk about the skin barrier, the human skin barrier. So obviously we all know that what we eat can affect our skin from the inside out. But are there specific things or specific ingredients that are known to break down your skin barrier externally? This could be product-based or this could be external-based. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. Okay. So there's two pieces to this that I think are foundationally very important for your listener.
Give it to me.
Okay. I mentioned those chemicals earlier. So it's a fat-based industry, and most products are an emulsified product. Again, go to CVS, go to Whole Foods. It's take water, take fat, mix them together. When you do that, you have to inject preservatives in there that kill bacteria. Okay. Well, your skin is covered with bacteria. Sorry, folks, to be the bearer of crazy news, but we're covered in 5 to 7 pounds of microscopic organisms that live in our stomach. They're in every they're in every hair follicle. There's different bugs.
And it could be good bacteria.
Well, I mean, we've coexisted with these bugs for a very, very long time.
Yes.
So the same compounds that we use in skincare to kill bacteria can disrupt our microbiome. That's problem number one. So all the different chemicals can harm our natural skin ecosystem.
I like that.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's problem number one. Problem number two, and this got especially worse in the last 5 years, we are way over sanitized. Okay. So we have a soap, here's our goat soap. I brought you some of our goat soap.
I love that. What genius branding? Greatest of all time.
We started a company for the punch. Lard help us. May the lard be with you.
Love that.
The lard works in mysterious ways. And when you mix smart lard and goat's milk, you get the greatest of all time soap. So
I love that.
It made sense to call it goat soap. We are so over sanitized. Okay. Again, rewind the clock 100 years. First of all, 100 years ago, no one had running hot water, which is a miracle. Running hot water tank is a miracle. So we were bathing very infrequently 100 years ago, which meant we were giving our skin a rest. We make sebum. It's the natural oil our skin produces. So the over sanitization of our skin today it's disrupting our microbiome. It's also overtly overstripping the natural oils that we do produce off of our skin. So it's sort of constantly stripping away this natural, our body, Lauren, our skin, every part of the human anatomy wants to be in balance.
Yes.
It wants to be healthy. It wants to be vibrant. Your skin wants to glow.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of the way. We get in the way.
100%. Physically and emotionally.
Oh, for sure. We're super in the way.
Yeah.
And so a lot of soap is great. I'm glad we have soap. If it doesn't say soap, I would say don't use it. So Beauty Bar, Cleansing This, anything that doesn't say soap. Soap is short for saponification. It's a very, very intricate process whereby cleansing agents are rendered good and not bad.
Interesting.
Yep.
I never knew that.
And then you got all the alcohol-based sanitizers. This stuff is like napalm.
I was going to say, super harsh.
Now, listen, if you're a surgeon and you're going into the OR, yeah, I want you
squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean. But yeah, I mean, for the rest of us, embrace your local microbiome. Warm water and a washcloth. Warm water and a washcloth. This is weird. I usually save it for the end of the night, but I shower every day, but maybe 3, 4, 5 times, maybe a month do I soap.
Yeah.
I just warm water and a washcloth. I strip the excess oil, the excess dirt off my skin, and
then you allow your ecosystem to step up and process accordingly.
And my skin has not looked nearly. It hasn't felt better. And this has been 2, 3, 4 years now that I'm not over cleansing my body.
So then on the flip side, for potentially someone needing to repair their skin barrier, so obviously something they can keep in mind is when you're in a season of needing to repair, don't overstrip it with whatever you're doing. Are there certain ingredients that help to repair the skin microbiome if you're in, if you're rebounding from something? Is it vitamin A? Is it E?
I would find a naturally lard, tallow, any animal fat.
Something that can be absorbed.
It's real.
Yeah.
And I think if your skin is struggling, almost across the board, it doesn't whether it's a chronic or an acute skincare condition, eczema, psoriasis, cheilitis, or razor burn, sunburn, windburn, any of those, the less you can do for your skin in terms of cleansing, the better. If you can get your hands on an animal fat based or just a real ingredient, eat coconut oil. I'm not a big fan of coconut oil. I think it's comedogenic and, clogs your pores, but it's a far better option than CeraVe, just as an example. So, any of that stuff I believe is going to be a step in the right direction to restoring, skin that's problematic.
And that will help nourish from the inside out.
But the hyper sanitization is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Let your skin breathe.
Yeah.
Just let it breathe.
Yeah, that's what I was literally just thinking, let it breathe. What are some of the unique results that people are seeing with Farrow in terms of healing?
Well, you said healing.
I said it.
I haven't had razor burn in 3 years. I haven't peeled from a sunburn in 3 years. That's me.
Yep.
I get emails all the time, name it, eczema, psoriasis, cheilitis, rosacea, mosquito. I haven't itched in 3 years. I mean, it's funny, but I tell people, like, you should, similar to oh gosh, I forget the name of it now.
What?
I mentioned it at the drop of our aloe vera.
Oh, yeah.
Aloe vera. In similar fashion to how every refrigerator, in the world had an aloe vera sticking in it I think everybody ought to have a jar of probably our skin food, just laying around. Bug bites, chiggers, mosquito bites, sunburn, windburn, razor burn. Those are all acute skincare conditions. And then on the flip side, chronic stuff: eczema, psoriasis, cheilitis, rosacea.
What's cheilitis?
Cheilitis, it's a chronic skin condition. It's got a autoimmune flair to it. I think it has to do. It's a cousin of eczema, but it's a drying sort of patchiness.
Interesting
Situation.
I saw someone on your Instagram. I think she was suffering from really, really bad eczema, predominantly. I'm sure it was on her body, but on her face and neck was really brutal. I mean, that can take a massive hit on somebody's confidence. And when she incorporated this, the turnover in her skin was night and day.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges with most chronic skin conditions is the itching.
Yeah.
And so, itchy skin is dry skin. Full stop.
Yeah.
But you get a mosquito bite, okay? And it itches. Well, why does it itch? Because you've got, on a microscopic level, you've got dry skin. And when the welt starts to expand, just like a zit or anything else, but when it expands, it's on a microscopic level cracking your skin because it's dry. And dry skin doesn't stretch very well.
Right.
So, again, with chronic skin conditions, eczema being probably the most common one.
Yeah.
The itching is one of the worst parts. And so if we can, at the very least, alleviate the itching with our products, fantastic. On top of that, most of the pharmaceutical grade creams that they recommend when you have eczema or rosacea or whatever, it's just garbage.
Yeah. So would you say within these buckets of skin conditions, it obviously seems beneficial for all of them. Do any of them stand out more? Do you hear feedback from people? Like, does scar repair stand out more? Or is it more the dry, itchy conditions, or across the board, generally, it seems to be beneficial for all?
I think one of the biggest psyops that the skincare industry has us all talked into is that each conceivably different skincare condition is somehow treatable by a different product or different routine. And that's just horse patootie. So healthy skin, get out of the way. Healthy skin, moisturized skin, non-chemically bludgeoned skin is going to be better at dealing with, name the skin condition. Is it a scar that needs to heal? Is it a rash that needs to get better? Is it a bug bite that needs to heal? Is it a sunburn? Anything.
Yeah.
If the skin is given the adequate ingredients, both with what we're eating, animal fat, animal protein, these are all very critical pieces. Collagen, these are all very critical pieces to giving your body the internal ingredients to build healthy skin.
Like the opportunity. Give your body the opportunity.
Get out of the way. Give it the ingredients, and then also topically, I would say we're our products, and again, any animal fat's going to be great. I would put the lard a notch above most things.
I want you to go back to the aftershave care for men, and specifically, why does it help with that? Because I definitely will notice sometimes after my husband shaves or in the days that follow, maybe he'll get a couple bumps or a couple ingrowns. What is it doing to the skin specifically that it's allowing that hair follicle to more effortlessly come through?
Well, again, pig, human, shared biology. So the term is comedogenic or non-comedogenic. So pore clogging. I'm tongue twisting myself today. So look at any aftershave, look at any shaving cream, most of them, 99% of them. None of those substances are even remotely close to our biology.
So it's almost like what you're putting on to help you shave to begin with is immediately starting an issue on your skin.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't agree with you. But then more importantly, you know, when you shave, you're scraping off arguably sort of the very, very outer layer of skin. Like not really, but
right.
you're,
I know
you're opening up pores, you're opening up
right.
hair follicles, all that fun stuff. So if there's a foreign substance on your skin that doesn't agree with your biology, lard is an almost spot-on match to human sebum, which is the oil our glands produce.
Right.
And so it's, in my opinion, it's the perfect fat to deal with any acute burn.
So do you shave with the lard? Or do you layer and shave, or it's the post?
What I do is I will soap. I'll use our soap to create sort of a shaving cream.
Yes.
It's not shaving cream per se.
Like a carrier, so it's not like that hard razor to the skin.
I just get a little soap on the skin.
Lather.
And then as soon as I'm done shaving, I put generally our face food or our skin food on, and a slightly light. I mean, it's on right now. I put it on. I shaved this morning to come see you.
Yeah.
And the lard is on. It's also in my hair. My hair's gotten thicker in the last 2 years.
No way. No way.
Hair health is follicle health. Follicle health is skin health. Get out of the way. Now, again, think about toxicity.
Yeah.
What ingredients are in hairsprays, hair gels, hair balms, hair pomades that don't agree with our biology that get in the way of your follicle being healthy?
Right. That's so interesting. I'm so curious if anyone's listening to this, because often people will reach out to me and they'll say, do you have any recommendations? Like, my hair is thinning. And listen, that can be a whole host of things that can be going on
for sure.
internally. But as you're potentially figuring that out, I think a lot of people think like, oh, put castor oil on or some of these other things. But I would be so curious if people implement this, some of the results that they would experience.
There's a pig oil study out of the UK that you can't find. I screenshot like the 3 or 4 screenshots of it. There was a guy running a rat study for alopecia. This is back in 2017. And the guy running the rat study had alopecia. And he's putting this pig oil, lard. He's putting this the Brits call it pig oil. He's putting it on these rats every day. And like a week into the study, he's like, well, why wouldn't I put it on my head too?
Right.
And in like 4 months, his hair grew back.
Wow.
It's hard to find. It's hard to find it.
Interesting. Why do you think it's hard to find it?
Well, I mean, what's the hair regrowth industry worth? A couple billion
right. So
globally?
It's like, let's bury that. Well, we are happy to share on Level Up with Lauren that if you are having trouble with thinning hair, I would be so curious if you implement this, and please share with us if this works.
I think it's here's the other approach, you know, because everyone's like, well, why would you do this? Why would you put pig fat on you? Why wouldn't you?
I was just going to say, why not?
Do you know what you're putting on your skin now?
Yeah. And not only that, I think when people are going through situations where something is affecting them negatively and your skin plays a huge role in self-confidence, if you are really going through it and nothing else is working, 100%, why not? And then just in general, I don't know. I think that's why we do things like this and we have conversations like this. It's just to open up people's eyes to other ways of going about things and other ways of thinking.
Well, I am incredibly grateful for the opportunity. If Brett were here, that's how we know each other is my friend Brett and your friend Dana. And now they're all hitched up. Great interview with him, by the way.
Thank you so much.
But if Brett were here, he would laugh at me saying this. Get used to being weird, folks. Mm-hmm. I've been weird for a long time. There's a bunch of people that thought this world was flat for a while, but when it comes to this stuff, what you eat, what you put on your skin, the the common narrative is not doing us any favors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look around,
Yeah.
Our skin conditions, chronic skin conditions are on the rise, especially in the developed world. Like we have more skin specialists, more products, more routines, more fixes than ever before in history. And look around, there's more eczema and psoriasis commercials on television now than ever.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And it also continues to play into that emotional narrative that something's wrong with you.
Oh, yeah.
Which nothing's wrong with you.
Nothing's wrong with you.
You just need to find what works for your incredible being.
Well, there's nothing wrong with you. There's something very wrong with the world that you're living in. Again, we're an amazing creature. Get out of the way. The obesity we're dealing with. I mean, all of these things. It's not you that's broken.
Right.
It's the system that's broken.
Right.
And so, this is an opportunity as it relates to skincare for us to talk about the system and maybe some stuff that's wrong with it. And I'm grateful that we can do that. And I'm no expert, Lauren, by any stretch. I just know what I know, and it's worked well for me and it's worked well for others. And so.
And it plays in nicely to an overarching theme for me and the people that I speak with on the podcast and my own personal wellness journey is to become the CEO of your own health and wellness. And at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
No one's coming to save you.
No one is coming to save you. That is for damn sure. What are some of the biggest myths about animal fats on the skin that you would like to debunk?
Oh, the biggest one is that it's pore clogging. That's the biggest. That's how we've jumped the shark. When it comes to just what we talk about in skincare or any topic, it's like, oh, that animal fat's going to clog your pores. And it's like, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. That doesn't make any sense at all. But there's so much about the world that doesn't make sense. That would be the biggest one, is that it's somehow pore clogging, comedogenic, is terrible. I can't think of any other. Well, no, I guess another myth we touched on earlier that needs to be debunked is somehow hyper cleaning is your friend. We're taught to hyper sanitize. I would say the exact opposite. Only use soap if you have to.
Yeah, and that is more nourishing. And the big takeaway for me on that was use soap. Don't use balm.
Oh.
Or what was the other thing you said?
Oh, cleansing bar. Dove Beauty Bar is the best example of. So I can unpack that story real quick. So we created a very effective field powder cleanser during World War I and World War II. So if you got shot, stabbed, whatever, this stuff it's a powder. It was a wound healer. So it kills.
You're triggering things from movies that I'm seeing when they did that.
It kills everything.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because if you get shot, stabbed in war, we need to not die of an infection.
Yes.
Well, the war ends, and it's like, wow, we're really good at making this stuff. What can we use it for?
Yeah.
It was it's probably the best decision the FDA ever actually made. They said, okay, you can use this ingredient in cleansing products, but you can't call it soap.
Yeah.
You can call it anything but soap because soap is short for saponification. Lauren, similarly to how, sourdough bread. And some people that have gluten intolerance can eat sourdough bread because the fermentation process renders these proteins and glutens less harmful.
Yes.
Okay. The saponification process, the chemical process that takes lye and fat and makes soap, it renders lye, which is a caustic, very noxious chemical. I mean, if you get lye on your skin, it burns.
Yeah.
But when it combines with fat, it goes through saponification. So soap is short for saponification. The FDA said you can use all these other ingredients, but you can't call it soap. So Beauty Bar, cleansing, Axe, all these body cleansers, they all potentially contain extremely gnarly ingredients that, again, thank God, if you got shot in the middle of the battlefield, that you have access to. But, your shower on a Friday before you go out with the boys. I don't think we need such harsh chemicals.
That strip you.
And let's not even get started. I'll just drop this here. Let's not even get started on the fragrances and all the chemical fragrances that make up what you smell with most of these products.
Wow. I get headaches from strong fragrances, which I think is your indicator right there. I mean, I can't handle much of strong fragrance.
No. And most of them are chemical fragrances that have no business in your nasal cavity. So
I want to talk about your products. So take us through some of the products that you currently have. I want to know if there's any new innovations coming down the pipeline in terms of benefits of pig fat. Give me all the scoop.
Okay. Well, we only have a handful of SKUs because when you make really good products that work for a whole bunch of stuff, you don't need many SKUs.
Yep.
We have our skin food.
Yep.
This comes scented and unscented. We have a face food, similar thing. So neck up, neck down. I told you before we hit record, I travel with the face food and use it all over. And at home, I use the skin food. And people are like, "What? Don't you need a product for your face specifically?" Maybe. I will contend that like the eyes,
under eye, because it's super sensitive.
Yeah, but the difference between this skin and this skin is you don't rest your eye up against a tree, but you'll rest your elbow.
Right.
Most of the difference between our skin is tactile environmental exposure. But we do have a facial and a body. We have a skincare elixir. Yep. So it's a sublingual. This is sort of a new thing with skincare, but there's various things that we can ingest that really help our skin glow from the inside out.
Yep.
There's some botanicals out there. This is a CBD product, so it's helping with sleep. It's lowering inflammation. CBD is cannabidiol. It's a compound from the hemp plant. So I think it works extremely well. Lowers inflammation, lowers the temperature.
You can take that any time of the day, or is that best to take in the evening?
I tell people to start taking it in the evening. Now, there's about 10% of the population that responds what I would call counter to evening use. I'm actually one of them, so I take it in the morning, but I tell people try taking it in the evening.
Got it.
Half dropper full dropper full. Play around with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you take it in the evening and find you're not sleeping better, then switch to the morning.
Got it.
But it still works.
Yeah.
We have a portable packable product called our Epidermis.
I love
If you want an
packaging on this.
Epidermis, then you need to use Epidermis. So a little portable packable. That's our Lard heaviest product.
And when you say lard heaviest, is that in terms of thickness?
The ratio of the fats. So lard, leaf lard, and tallow, those are sort of our favorite fats to use.
Yeah.
We don't use any leaf lard in the Epidermis. It's all lard and tallow.
So obviously all these can be used seasonally, but when you said that, I immediately thought if you were going out in freezing cold temperatures and you need more of a balm, would that call for that, or no, any of them could play that role?
Any of them can play that role.
Yeah.
You're going to, our face food and skin food will have a greater sealant because they've got more tallow.
Got it.
I say more relative to the Epidermis.
Got it.
If you were going on a ski trip, I would probably tell you our face food to lather up here.
Yeah.
To protect you from windburn.
Yeah.
And then our soap, we have 3 different soaps. The goat soap, greatest of all time.
I love that.
Again, I use it as a shampoo bar. I use it as a shave bar. I use it as a general soap.
Love it.
We've got 3 scents there, but that's it. And in terms of what's on the horizon.
What's on the horizon? Give us a scoop.
There are no animal fat-based brands in big retail. And so we are working on some formulations. I have 2 done, hoping to launch them. You heard it here first.
Heard it here first. People.
Hoping to launch them by Q1 2026. And it's just to get a cleaner, more efficacious brand on store shelves.
I love it.
I can't keep my daughter out of Sephora, so I'm going to try and get a brand on the shelves of Sephora.
How cool is that, honestly?
Well, we'll see. Fingers crossed. We got a long way to go to get there. But
I love that. I want to do a little rapid fire with you, Mr. Charles, before we wrap up.
I've heard all about this.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Are you ready? Bacon or pork chop?
Oh, God.
I'm going to hit you right where it hurts. Bacon or pork chop?
Bacon.
Me too. Miss Piggy or Peppa the Pig?
Are we eating or
no.
are we?
Who's your girl?
Oh, I got to go Miss Piggy.
Yeah, Miss Pig. Farm or forest?
Farm or what?
Forest.
Farm. You can have both. Those are the same thing.
Oh. What's a pig favorite snack?
Ooh. A pig's favorite snack. Any nut.
Really?
Acorn, cashew,
Oh my God.
peanut. Peanut's not a nut.
I would have never thought that.
Oh, it's like
I would have
crack.
thought like carrots, kale.
Oh.
They love nuts.
Well, I've never asked a pig, but I'm going to guess their favorite snack is probably grub worms. Because I know that's not appetizing
Nuts
to us.
feel a little sexy.
They love those nuts though, cashews. So there's a company. Can I plug somebody?
Yeah.
There's a company called Georgia Grinders. They make the most amazing nut butters in the world.
Wow.
My day job is
Grinders.
Georgia Grinders. Look them up.
Yep.
My day job is in commercial insurance, and I work with food manufacturers, and they're a client of mine. In fact, I talked to the owner on my drive here today, and every now and then, back when I was farming pigs, they would get they'd have a fork, on a forklift. They'd have a fork go through like a big bag of nuts, and they'd have to condemn them. And so I'd get the call, hey, Charles, we've got a half super sack of organic peanuts that we can't use.
That's unbelievable.
And so they'd put it in the back of my truck. And so I would, my pigs were the luckiest pigs in the world.
Dying over nuts. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
True or false, pigs can sweat?
False.
Favorite movie that features a pig?
Oh, gosh. Snatch.
I love it.
Do you know the reference?
No.
It's a Brad Pitt movie. And the villain in the movie, Bricktop, is a gangster, and he's got a pig farm because if he has to dispose of...
Oh my God. They go to the pig farm.
Yeah. I mean, Charlotte's Web's a great one, but...
Swing the pendulum left. No, stick. Be authentic.
Yeah, Snatch. Yeah, I don't even know that you actually see pigs in the movie. They're just talked about.
Oh my God, that's very funny. Where can people find more about your products, pimp yourself out? Where can they get all the details?
Website, farrow.shop, Farrow.
Yep.
It's not the Egyptian Pharaoh. We spell it differently. And Level Up to save you 20%.
Yes.
We're on Instagram.
That.
We're on X at Farrow Skin. I'm not, social media is sort of my downfall, but I have somebody that helps me a little bit. So
I love that.
We at least look like a reasonable skincare company.
You look very reasonable. So I want to make sure people heard you graciously are offering 20%.
Yep.
If people want to purchase this, Level Up is the code, and we'll also put it in the show notes so everyone can have access to it. Charles, this was absolutely fascinating. I think we have absolutely blown the lids off of people's minds in terms of opening up their thinking to pigs and pig fat. And I can't wait to see the conversations that this sparks. And I'm so grateful for your time today and for flying up. And I'm excited for you and all that's to come for you. So thank you for being here.
It's a very, very real pleasure to be on your journey.
Thank you so much.
To finding health and happiness, and I'm really thrilled with what you got going on here in the barn. So
thank you.
Congratulations.
So much. Thank you so much.